The feature number one that I'd like to show you is our unique UI UX. So in LBS Suite, every person in the company will have different view dependingly on the role that actually it has in the company. So here now I'm connected as a project manager. Every view in LBS is made of system of widgets that you can resize, move around, and you really organize your dashboard as you want. So you keep only these widgets that are relevant for you. If you don't think that they're interesting at the moment, you can remove them and add them at any time from the list of widgets available. Also, in any view, you have direct access to the orders from the widget or to the quotes. Okay, so you don't need to look for any other information outside of LBS. Everything is here. Also, I like the access to your folders of your projects directly here from the icon from the widget. One important thing about these folders, they are created automatically for you. Once you set up the structure of your folder, so the number of subfolders, the name of subfolders, you organize it as you want. After, LBS will create automatically for you as soon as you create a quote or an order. And again, you don't need to remember the path anymore. It's always accessible from the widget. Apart from that, you can notice that we have different colors in our widgets. For example, here in my widget with all the projects for delivery to client, I have some dates in red, which means that we are delayed. This date can be also in orange if the delivery is approaching, or it can be in black like here because we still have time. So really you see at a glance what is the priority between your projects. You have also some icons like here, the clock, which means that we still are waiting for the delivery from our supplier, or a little agenda, which indicates that we have still some jobs to do for our order and we can't really deliver to client. So really in this at once, you have very nice overview on all your quotes, orders, and deliveries. Okay, so just to summarize, with our unique UI UX, you have one role, one view. You have customizable widget selection, meaningful icons and colors, automatic folders creation, and you always have access directly from the widget to all your data concerning the project and to the folders. And since we are talking about one role, one view, I will jump to the feature number 2, which is full integrated CRM. So if your role in the company is being salesperson, you will find very nice features here to follow up with your client and to have a look on your target. So the first feature here that we can notice is the system of follow-ups. So LBS will remind you on the specific date what you need to do for your client. You don't need to write it down anymore in your calendar or on the little post-its or whatever. It will be here in your widget in LBS. You can sort these follow-ups by different levels, what we call level in LBS, which means different subject, basically, subject of your action towards the client. So if I had, for example, a call with my client, I will write it down in LBS. I will say that I had the result after this call because I had new information. This list is customizable, like almost all the drop-down lists in LBS. I can write my report of my call, and I will say when I want to have next follow-up. So let's say in 2 weeks. And I can register it. And LBS will remind you on that day that I need to call my client again. In LBS, in my CRM, I can also manage my meetings. So if I had this call with client and we agreed on the meeting about a new project. So I said, so the next follow-up will be in 2 weeks, let's say, but this time I will take the option meeting, 2 p.m. By the way, here in follow-up, you will see all the history of your conversation with your client. Okay, so you can have a look immediately what has been said in previous exchanges. And now I validate, and what will happen? LBS will create my meeting in my Outlook calendar, because we have integration with Outlook and Gmail, but that I will talk about it a bit later. Okay, and my meeting will be registered also in my widget. So I will find it here, all the list of my meetings with the specific date, with all the information, so with who I have the meeting, where. If I click even on this icon, it will send me to Google Maps. Right? Certainly, as a salesperson, you know that sometimes it's very easy to actually forget about clients who are not very active, who haven't ordered for some specific period, or maybe even your prospects who never ordered. In LBS, it's not going to happen, because in very nice way, in very easy way, you will find all the contacts who are not so active. So I want to find all my clients who haven't ordered since this date, for example, 6th of January. And here it is, it's on my list. I know when was the last order of this client and what was the number of orders in general. And I can contact this person again. I can do the same thing, but for follow-ups. So I want to check which clients I didn't follow up since this day. And again, I have my list with all necessary information, and I can open directly the client record or send an email or follow up directly from here. So here are some functionalities that really help you to follow well your clients, or rechase some of them who are not very active. But also you can supervise your own target as a salesperson. Here, it can be an annual target or monthly target. You will have at a glance your results for today, okay? And with what kind of result you should have achieved already today. So you can compare your performance against your target. Target, of course, are customizable, even per salesperson. You have a look also on some statistics about quotes, which quotes finish with success or are pending or canceled or lost. So with a fully integrated CRM, you will be able to follow up very smoothly your clients. You can manage your meetings, you have instant activity data, and you have really in-depth CRM functionalities. And here's feature number 3, Outlook and Gmail integration that I just mentioned before. So you can have LBS functionalities directly in your email. I'm using Outlook on my PC, so I will show you an example of this one, but please keep in mind that it applies also to Gmail. And this is my email from my client with the request. And in the menu of Outlook, I have the line with LBS Suite, and here is all the list of actions that I can do directly from my email. So I can create a quote, I can create an order, I can register feedback, many different options. I will create a quote. Okay, LBS recognized directly email address of the client and opened the right window, giving automatically the number for the quote. And then I keep going with creating my quote. So I will create a service, specify languages, let's say French. And now I need to register the file that was sent by my client. I can do it from here. I can import source files from the email. So here are all the attachments that I had in my original email from client. I can specify what kind of type of file it is. So based on that, of this type, LBS will dispatch these files in the right folder. You see here that the folder is created automatically. I haven't done anything manually. And the source file is registered now in the right subfolder source files. And that's it. And then you can, of course, keep going with your Word count, etc. A very important thing here is that your emails will be saved in the folder of the quote or of the order. As you can see here, my initial email from the client is saved in my subfolder. So you don't need to store and archive your emails in Outlook anymore, or when you're absent, your colleagues, they don't need to dig in your email box to find the exchange with the client. No, everything will be really stored in a folder of the quote or the order. Right. So with Outlook or Gmail integration, you will have LBS Suite functions in your email. You will be able to download files from emails without browsing. So again, you don't need to remember the path. You will have all the history of the exchange with the client in LBS Suite, and you will reduce your email storage in Outlook. The feature number 4 is our client portal, which is not only client portal. Apart from the main software, as you saw, the main interface of LBS Suite, we have also client portal here, okay, which is absolutely completely customizable by you. So you put your picture, you put your text, your logo, your colors, you design it as you want. Very interesting thing is that your potential client, so somebody who is not registered in your database yet, can find the address to this portal and can send the request for a quote or for an order directly from the portal without being registered, without logging in. It's very simple. They just click on New Project. They can select the service, which is translation, of course, languages. Let's say Dutch. They will attach some files that they want to translate. Maybe they can add another service, why not? If not, they will just go to next and the last step where they can define if they want a quote or an order, and they can add some instructions. So as you see, without any passwords, they can just send you a request directly. You, as an LBS user, you will find this request in your widget, here in the widget quotes. And you will know that it comes from web because you have this little icon here that is ticked web. If you go to the quote that comes from portal, you will see that everything is done. So basically your client is doing your job because all the services are already here. So all the translations, proofreading, what the services that were requested by your client, and the languages. So you need to just create a word count and propose the due date, and that's it. So it really can save your time. All right, so with Client Portal, you will have, of course, file customization of your page. So you can create better image of your company. You will save lots of time. Your new clients can freely register and send you the request. And one thing that I haven't mentioned before is the transfer, secure files transfer. Because of course, it's fully secured, but also it's unlimited. That means that you don't need to use any other website like WeTransfer, whatever, for big files. Everything can go through the portal. Feature number 5 is automatic workflow. If you create a new quote or a new order in LBS, like here, for example, the order that is empty, you don't need to create service by service from scratch, especially if you have, for example, multilingual projects. You can load a workflow from the list of workflows that are already available. This list of workflow can be created by you from scratch or based on already handled projects. So if it happened to you already to have a project into 25 languages where you already selected suppliers and you know that you would like to use these suppliers for next project, you can register everything in your workflow, then load it and proceed with your project. If you use this workflow, you prepare a quote, you send it to clients agreed, and quote is transformed to the order. Basically, you can allow LBS to handle the rest of the project for you, because LBS can send automatically the request to all the favorite suppliers or to usual suppliers, LBS can also do the transfer, automatic transfer between translator and proofreader. And all the steps actually up to client delivery. I can say that LBS can do it, okay, and not will do it, because it's up to you to decide what kind of automation you allow LBS. So you see here the icon of magic stick is where you can actually activate this automation, because maybe you don't want to apply the same automation for all the projects or for all the clients. So you can do it by project, but also by client. If you go up to client record, you can also select what kind of automation you want to apply. Okay. With this automatic workflow, first you can redesign as you want your workflows, depending from clients, from a language combination. Your prices will be calculated automatically. You can set your automation as you want, at the level you want, so per client, per quote, or per project. And you can let your workflow manage itself up to client delivery. So you can take a coffee break. And since we are talking about workflow, the last step of the workflow normally is client delivery. But usually you want to also register some quality feedbacks after this delivery. You can do it in LBS thanks to our quality module, which is completely compatible with ISO. So I will show you on the example of, I will just pick one project here. Yes. We have 3 levels of quality modules in LBS. First one is the supplier assessment. So as soon as your service is done and delivered by the supplier, you can give a note to the supplier. You just specify the level. It's customizable, of course, because maybe full proofreading will have different coefficient than just quick quality check. And then you give, oh, sorry, I didn't precise the level. And then you give the note by criteria. All these criteria are customizable by you. And the final note from this assessment, this supplier assessment, is registered in supplier's record and will be very useful when you will look for suppliers for other service, for other projects. So for example, here I need to look for supplier. So I see on the list of the suppliers who correspond to my criteria of the language combination. But if I click on the name of each of supplier, I see the details of this supplier assessment. So I can really make a choice of the good supplier for my project, because I can see what kind of note they received for language combination or for the specific topic. Another level of our quality module is the satisfaction of the client. So our quality feedback from your client. And here you can have 3 possibilities. You can give a general feedback, okay, on the order, because your client didn't say anything, just say very good, so 5 stars, or very bad. Or you can have general feedback on the service. Then you select one service, and on this specific service you give the note. You can also say what happened. In fact, the list is customizable again, or you can say what kind of action you recommend to do. Okay. And the third option is detailed feedback on the service. So again, you choose your service that you want to evaluate. The same as for the previous one, you can say what happened or what is the recommended action. But here, moreover, you have all these detailed criteria that you can note as well. Criteria are customizable. You can also say who was responsible for that. So it was supplier's responsibility or maybe management responsibility. And you can also play with some coefficients per criteria, because maybe some criteria are more important than the others. If that happened that after your client feedback, you need to pay a new proofreading to another supplier, or maybe even new translation, of course, the final supplier price will change. It will be registered in LBS. And here you will have the recap of that. So you can compare what was the initial price for the client and for suppliers, and the new price for the client and for suppliers. So you will see what was the financial impact after that. Okay, and the third level of our Quality module is the survey, automatic survey. There are two different types of survey. One is automatic after each order. So as soon as you as you deliver your product to your client will receive, I should have an example, should receive the email with the link to the survey. This email is in French because my client is French speaking, but of course the content is customizable by you. And this email can be sent after the time that you set up. It can be after 1 day, after 2 days after delivery. Anyway, there's the link to this survey, and your client can just go to the questions and give the number of stars that they want. Okay, so this is one kind of survey. Another type of survey is the survey that you can schedule. So you choose the group of clients who should receive this survey based maybe on the date of the last order or turnover. Okay, and made of this selection, you choose people who should receive and when you want to send this survey. Okay, so sorry. Okay, I had little problems. Okay, so with this quality module, you have customized rate calculation setup. You have all supplier assessment functionalities. You have client feedback management, quality financial impact track, instant quality information, customizable quality web surveys, and also all the reports necessary for ISO that are normally required. All right. Feature number 7, self-generated planning. In LBS, you can manage also your in-house resources. So if I go to my project where I have a service translation that I assign to external supplier, but I know that I want to assign maybe proofreading to somebody from my team. I can do it. I just create an internal task. I choose what kind of internal task I want to assign. Again, tasks are customizable by you. So for me, it would be, for example, proofreading. I select the operator for this task, and I say for when I would like to have this task. I will say for today. And then LBS is checking for me availability of this person from my team. So I don't need to keep in mind the planning of entire team. LBS checked that my requested date is not possible, but there is another best possible due date. And now I have a choice. I can confirm the best possible due date, or I can assign it to somebody else from my team, or I can insert a priority to this task or cancel my request. So it's up to me, but the most important is that I don't really need to keep in mind the availability of my team. And I will have very nice view on entire planning of my team just here, where I see at a glance who is free, because it's in green, who is partially busy in orange, who is very busy in red, or who is absent in purple, because you can also register holidays. If you want to reassign maybe some tasks from somebody who is super busy, it's very easy. You just select the job that you want to reassign and you switch to another user. And again, LBS Suite will check if this person is available or not. So with self-generated planning, you enjoy optimized availability management, optimized in-house resources. You will automatically check your conflicts in the availability of your team. You will have some suggested solutions for these conflicts, and you will be able to switch very easily projects between in-house users. Since we are talking about resources, you can also manage your external resources with our vendor management view. So we prepared this separated view for your vendor managers, where you can find two kinds of information. First kind of information, there will be all data concerning your suppliers. So all the data that will really help you to manage them, to see who is active, who is not active, for what kind of topics they're working, etc. So, for example, you will see the average number of services provided by supplier. So maybe you will see that you need to recruit some new suppliers to avoid the lack of resources. Or here you can notice which suppliers are not active, when last time they did their project, or how responsive they are, if they accept my request or they leave it unanswered or refuse. This is just an example. I can't go more into details, but again, please, if you'd like to know more about it, drop me a line after and we can see it more carefully. But in any case, you will have all possible data to help you to manage your database of suppliers. And another type of features that you will have in this vendor management view is the automatic supplier test. Any supplier who is not your supplier yet, okay, but would like to work actually for you, will be able to register on the portal. Sorry, will be able to register on the portal. So it's like for the client, basically, portal. Again, it's customizable. And they can just click on register and complete the formula. You, as a vendor manager, you will receive the notification that somebody registered on the portal. LBS will check if there is no any other profile who is very similar, so to avoid the double registration. And once it's done, you don't have anything to do because LBS will create for you automatically test order, as you can see here, and will send all the test files to the supplier based on what the supplier said in the portal, what kind of topics he specialized in. Okay, so you can configure as many test files per language or per topic as you want. And after they are sent automatically, and you can just wait for the job done by the translator. So with vendor management, you have all the statistics on supplier usage. You can activate your inactive suppliers. You will enjoy automatic supplier tests, and you will be sure that you won't register twice the same supplier. The feature number 9, which goes beyond the project management, is digital marketing. In LBS, you can create your own marketing campaign. So first, you can prepare a template for your email. So what you need, what you want to send actually in your campaign, the email subject, using different tags and in different languages. Once it's done, then you can select very carefully, very precisely, you can target the group of contacts that are registered in your database that you would like to contact with this campaign. Okay, this criteria can be dates. So for example, you want to send only to your contacts who have ordered between this and this date, or maybe who received already last campaign last month, or maybe that they were created in your database some time ago. So this is one criteria. Another criteria, they can be keywords. So maybe you will send only to the clients who have this keyword in their record in LBS. Or it can be also satisfaction. So as you see, you have many criteria to really go in details and to sort very well the group that you want to target. And once it's done, you will have here all the list of contacts that you can select. So you can select all of them or maybe some of them, and then you can schedule the sending. You can send this campaign directly, or you can schedule delayed sending, maybe even at the moment when you're not in the office. And what is done, you don't have anything to do because LBS will send these emails automatically from your Outlook. So you're sure that they won't finish as a spam from client side, and the email will look like very personalized for this specific contact. Once you send this campaign, of course, you can follow up. You can see what have you sent, and maybe you can resend another campaign to the people who haven't replied. So with digital marketing, we can send mass emails, but you can target really precisely your audience. You will optimize your prospecting time because, as you saw, you do it in few clicks, and then you can follow up your campaign. And the last feature, but not the least, is payment collection. And I'm sure your accountant will love it because here in this module, you will see all the money that you expect from your clients' payments. And you will see which part is overdue. If you click on it, you have all the lists immediately, all the overdue payments. And all the payments are also sorted by the number of days of delay. So you can see which payments are, for example, delayed more than 90 days, or less or equal to 90 days, etc., etc. So very easily, you see what is the situation of payments in your company. You can create also different scenarios. For example, a delay of 15 days, or 30 days, or 40 days. Okay, and based on these scenarios, your clients, as soon as they don't pay on time, they will end up in this field. So if I want to see all my clients who are already delayed with payment 15 days, I just click on this field. I see an entire list. There are quite a lot because there are almost 300. I can select all of them. And if I click on this icon here, the email will be sent to all of them with the reminder. So you will send almost 300 emails at once in one click, which is really saving time a lot. Of course, if your clients still don't pay, they will jump to another level in your scenario, so delayed 30 days, and then you can do the same thing. You can again rechase them with one click and send reminders. If you know that some of your clients don't really fit to your scenario, you can register them, or you can register some promises even from them. Everything can be tracked in LBS. Also, LBS will count for you DSO, so the average time that you're paid by your clients, because the purpose actually of this payment collection is really to reduce this time. Please don't take in consideration this result because it's demo session. I don't wish you that. And also, you will be able to see all your all the amount that was already paid by your clients for a specific period. So, for example, for previous year, or for current year, current month, whatever.
Sorry, excuse me, Anna. We're running out of time, and there is one question. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So I will just, it's the last point, by the way, on my list. So yeah, so just with this payment collection, you can send hundreds of payments in one click. You can track your payments, improve DSO, and really supervise your cash flow. So thank you. Yes, that was the last point of my list.
Thank you. There is a quick question from Alan Milby. You just said that, well, you said before that your quality model is compatible with ISO. And exactly which ISO standard are you compatible with?
Well, it depends because we don't have a specific ISO standard, because also we evaluate our quality module. So if you need any other statistics, we are able to add it. Okay, because normally you have all statistics possible that are exportable in LBS. If you need any specific one, we can add it for you, and that we can be sure that it will be compatible with the latest ISO.
Perfect. And is it possible to export the reports for ISO?
Yes. Yes. It's all the statistics are exportable in Excel with details.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay, thank you so much, Anna. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I was just wondering if there are any other question, and yeah, I think that I went quite quickly through all these points, but yeah, drop me a line if you would like to know anything more about LBS. And thank you very much for
there is
for
one
coming
more
and for
question.
having me. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, great. Yes.
From Flavio. Will the one view change if, for example, 2 PMs work on one large project?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can actually assign, you can have more than 2 even project managers on the same project. So the view of the project itself doesn't change. It's the view that is changing. So each of your project manager can organize her or his view as she or he wants, okay? The view of the project itself, like that, won't change. Is it
Okay.
is it the answer?
I think that answers the question. Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
And you can jump between different views. So if you have a kind of hybrid role, like you are a bit salesperson, a bit project manager, or a bit project manager and vendor manager, you can jump between views, and you don't need to log out, log in